Good morning, children. This is the continuation of the story Tempest from Stories from Shakespeare. Today we will study the part Miranda and Ferdinand. Prospero tells his daughter Miranda that what are you looking there? Please tell me. Miranda says, "Oh, father, I am seeing a strange surprise. I think the person I am seeing is a spirit. Look how he is looking about. You believe me, father, he is a beautiful person. Is he not a spirit?" Prospero says, "No, my girl. He eats, sleeps, and has all his five senses. He is a young man who was in the ship, and he is changed because of his sorrow. You can call him a handsome person. He has lost his friends and he is moving about in search of them." Now Miranda, who had seen his father as the only person, she thought that all men had serious faces and grey beards like her father, and she was very delighted, very happy when she saw the appearance of the beautiful young prince. And Ferdinand, when he saw such a lovely lady in the desert, he thought that he was upon a charmed island, and Miranda was the goddess of the place, and so he began to address her as a goddess. Miranda answered a little fearfully that she was no goddess, she was a simple maid, and she said she would tell him about herself, when Prospero interrupted and called her. Prospero was happy to find that the two children, Miranda and Ferdinand, they admired each other, and Prospero saw that they had fallen in love. But Prospero wanted to test how faithful Ferdinand was. So he came forward. He called the prince with a serious air and told him that had he come on the island as a spy to take it away from Prospero, who was the real master of the island. Then Prospero tells Ferdinand that you follow me, and I will tie your neck and feet together. You will be allowed only to drink salty sea water, to eat shellfish and dead roots. "No," said Ferdinand, "I'll fight with you till I find you to be more powerful than myself." And Ferdinand took out his sword. But Prospero, who knew magic, he waved his magic stick and fixed Ferdinand to the spot where he was standing, and Ferdinand had no power to move further. Miranda, she hung upon her father, saying, "Why are you behaving so unkindly, father? You have pity on him, and I assure you, for his sake. This is the second man I have ever seen, and I feel he is a faithful person." Prospero seems to be very angry, and he says, "You keep quiet, and if you speak one more word, I will be more angry. You are speaking for a spy. You think that there are no fine men than he and Caliban whom you have seen? You are a foolish girl. There are many men who are more handsome than him. As he is more handsome than Caliban, Similarly, many men are more handsome than him. Prospero is telling all this to find out how faithful her daughter is in response to Ferdinand's love. And then Miranda tells Prospero, I have no desire to see a better man than him. Come on, young man, Prospero tells the prince. You have no power to disobey me. I indeed do not have that, Ferdinand said. And Ferdinand did not know that Prospero had robbed all his energy to fight by his magic, and Ferdinand was filled up with surprise because he was strangely forced to follow Prospero. He looked back on Miranda, watching her as long as he could, and then went behind Prospero into the cave. And he feels that his spirits were all tied up as if he was in a dream. But man's hard word, Prospero's hard word, and the weakness which Ferdinand was feeling, it made him light. And he said, all this would not have affected me, only if from this cave I could behold, I could see fair Miranda. Prospero did not shut up Ferdinand in the cave for a long time. He brought him out and told him to perform a hard work, taking care that his daughter also knew what he had done. And then Prospero pretended to go into his study, but secretly he was watching his daughter Miranda and Ferdinand. What was the hard task given to Ferdinand? He had been commanded to put in order some heavy logs of wood. Now Ferdinand was the son of a king, the king of Naples, and he was not used to doing such laborious, tiring jobs. And Miranda soon found Ferdinand dying out of tiredness. Alas, Miranda says, why are you working so hard? My father in his studies now. He will be studying for 3 hours. You take rest. Ferdinand says, no, my dear lady, I will not do so. I will finish my work and then only I will take rest. Then Miranda tells that you sit down for some time, I will carry the logs for you. Ferdinand did not agree to it. And Miranda was of no help, rather, she became an obstacle, for they both started talking, and the business of shifting the logs in order was going on very slowly. Prospero, who had given Ferdinand this job only as a trial of his love, he was not with his books, as his daughter thought him to be, but he was standing in between them, and he could not be seen because of his magic. Ferdinand asks Miranda what her name was, and though Prospero had commanded her not to say, she told him her name. Prospero Prospero had told Miranda not to say her name, but Miranda told it to Ferdinand, and Prospero smiled because his daughter Miranda had disobeyed him, and she had fallen in love with this person by the magical art of Prospero. Prospero was not angry at her daughter's disobedience, and he was listening to the speech of Ferdinand in which he told Miranda how much he loved her. And when Miranda heard the praises of her beauty, she said She was greater than any other in the world. Ferdinand is telling Miranda that she is the greatest lady whom he had perceived. Miranda says, "See, I don't remember the face of any lady, and I have not seen any more men except you and my dear father. But believe me, sir, I do not want to have any other companion in the world apart from you, nor can my thought shape any form but yours. But, sir, I am afraid I am talking to you very freely, and my father's commands I am forgetting." At this Prospero smiled, and he nodded his head, and said, "This goes on exactly as I could wish. I would like you to make, or rather, I would like to make you the Queen of Naples." And then Ferdinand, in another long speech, told Miranda how he would become the King of Naples because he thought his father was dead. And then Miranda says, "Oh, I'm a fool to weak at what I am glad of. I should be happy, but I feel weak. I'll just answer you in plain and simple things that yes, I would become your wife if you would like to marry me." Before Ferdinand could thank Miranda for that, Prospero appears before them and tells, "Do not be afraid, my child. I have overheard whatever you have talked, and I like it. And Ferdinand, I have been using you very hardly for a hard work, and I'll make you very rich payment for the work. I will give you my daughter. All your trials which I took, the troubles which you had to face, was just to check your love, and you have proved yourself. You can take my daughter as my gift, which your true love has bought, and do not smile that I tell you that my daughter is beyond all praise." And then Prospero tells them that he has some business in another place, and he tells Miranda and Prospero to sit down and talk together till he returned, and commanded Miranda seemed not at all willing to disobey. And this command Miranda did not at all seem to disobey. Children, after this we have two more parts remaining, which I will upload in the next video. Till then, you listen again and again till here. After completing the full part, I will also upload the question answers. You don't worry about that. Okay? Thank you, children.